Welcome to Beginner's Academy. Our topic is Beginner's Guide to ARRL Field Day for 2025. ARRL Field Day is the most popular on-the-air event held annually in the U.S. and Canada on the fourth weekend of June. More than 35,000 radio amateurs gather in clubs, groups, or simply with friends operating from remote locations. This year's theme for ARRL Field Day is Radio Connects. It is important to note that our signals go beyond borders, and one of our goals in amateur radio is to promote international goodwill. This is an AI generated comic about Field Day. I thought it was appropriate because it mentions living the dream. Many of us dream about the next field day all year long. This year's ARRL Field Day is June 28th and 29th. Field days are always the fourth weekend of June, beginning at 1800 UTC, which is 1 p.m. Central Daylight Time, and running through 2059 UTC. However, you can only use the last 3 hours if you waited until 1800 UT on Saturday to set up. Most field days use the first 24 hours and don't use the extended hours. The object of field day is to work as many stations as possible on the 160, 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10 meter HF bands, as well as all bands 50 megahertz and above, and in doing so, learn to operate in abnormal situations with less than optimal conditions. A premium is placed on developing skills to meet emergency preparedness challenges and to acquaint the general public with amateur radio's capabilities. Field days often involve setting up antennas and operating, perhaps outdoors, where the temperature and humidity are very high. So, safety first is important for field day. Stay hydrated, take breaks, and use sunscreen outdoors. Keep antennas away from power lines and use safety techniques if climbing a tower. Have an emergency kit, and please don't talk yourself or the group into something dangerous. It is recommended that a safety POC be implemented for group field days. A field day can be an excellent group activity for most clubs. It is the year's biggest event. Club members can plan and work as a team. There are many tasks to do, and not all of them are operating. The operators and families socialize, of course, and there's often something good to eat. This is all great. However, it is allowed if you prefer to operate from your home. I have a video from a past field day with Panama City Amateur Radio Club. We'll play the first 30 seconds. They are erecting a hex beam on a portable tower. Thanks to Bob Plank, KK4DIV, for this video. If you'd like to know where public field days are, use the ARRL website, Field Day Locator. Check it out. And if you're doing a group field day with public access, please add your pin to the map. Field day is an informal emergency practice. It is an opportunity to operate away from the usual station, and it's encouraged to operate without commercial power. Originating messages is one of the bonus activities. There are techniques for doing that, like WinLink, or just passing a radiogram on phone. Field day is an opportunity to camp out and rough it. However, some would rather choose a venue with air conditioning. Field days, Field day is a significant public relations opportunity. If your club operates in a public place, invite the media to cover the event. Remember to post your activities on social media. Field day is not a contest, but for some, it is a contest. Making lots of contacts is a goal of field day. Many contesters had their first taste of contesting on field day. Field day will definitely hone your operating skills. A field day is an excellent opportunity for new hams and prospective hams. You can have that first HFQSO. Also, you can see all the antennas, radios, and talk to the old timers. They'll they You can help them log, operate, or both. Technicians and non-hams can operate HF while supervised by a general class operator or above. Antennas are always the fun part of ham radio on field day. Picking your antennas will be part of your planning. You will need a way to support them in the field. This is all up to you. You can have one antenna or several. Many of us try an antenna larger than the one we had last year. What antenna should you use? Well, any antenna is fair game. if you're if you've operated parks on the air, you probably already have some good portable antennas. The half-wave dipole is an excellent choice, and it can be configured as an inverted V with just one support in the middle. You might try a 40-20 meter fan dipole. That is a 40-meter dipole with a 20-meter dipole in parallel on a single coax feed line. This will let you cover both those bands that are very popular for field day and also will likely work on 15 meters. Some antennas are multiband without an antenna tuner, and some require a tuner. These are all choices you'll need to consider. Many portable antennas are marketed these days. Non-commercial power is encouraged for the field day. It could be a gas-powered generator. However, batteries are convenient and can be recharged using solar panels during the daytime. Field day has lots of classes. Class A is a portable station with 3 or more operators using 100% emergency power. Class A battery is the same but limited to 5 watts max. Class B is 1 or 2 operators using 100% emergency power. The Class B battery is limited to 5 watts. Class C is mobile stations. Class D is home on commercial power. Class E is a home station on emergency power. And Class F operates from an established emergency operations center. The Bay County ARRL group will be Class F this year at the Bay County EOC. They'll enjoy the advantage of having air conditioning. The ARRL Field Day rules are online. Our talk would not cover every nuance of the rules, so I encourage you to read them. Search for ARRL Field Day on Google and find the rules. Some years the rules are updated. This year, the only update I saw was a revision to the eligibility criteria for get on the air stations. Other rules, other changes from previous years continue this year. Output power for classes A, B, and C cannot exceed 500 watts, and power output for D, E, and F classes cannot exceed 100 watts. Class D home station can earn points for contacts with other Class D stations. The scores of individual stations can be combined under a single club. Submit your log under your call sign and designate which club you'd like to apply the points to. A field day group can simultaneously have one or more transmitters on the air. Stations may interfere with each other, or so consider techniques to minimize interference. Note that only one transmitter can be on a particular band and mode at a time. The field day exchange is similar to many contests. It is essential to know your class and section. The section for Bay County, Florida is Northern Florida, abbreviated NFL. So if I were operating field day, I could call CQ Field Day, CQ Field Day, November 4, Kilo Golf Lima. Chris in Canada might hear me. He transmits his call VA3ECO. If I heard him, I'd say VA3ECO, this is N4KGL. We are 1 Bravo, Northern Florida. VA3ECO answers QSL. I am 1 Delta, Northern Ontario, ONN. I would likely say QSL and good luck. The call signs, class, and section were exchanged, and they should be recorded in the logs for each station. There are two main operating strategies for contest. Hunting and pouncing is one, where you look for stations calling CQ and answering them. If you're new to field day, this is probably the best way to start. Others may run on a frequency. The other approach, they call CQ and wait for stations to call them. When they work a station and do the exchange, they'll call CQ again. Often they have a pileup of stations waiting. This is probably the best way to operate and rack up the points. FT8 and digital modes are very popular, and ARRL will allow FT8 for field day. The WSJTX software has settings to customize the exchange, including the required class and section. So you'll need to make these additional settings before field day starts. Field day scoring is 1 point for each voice contact and 2 points for each CW or digital contact. To calculate your score, multiply the QSO points for all bands by your power multiplier. Battery entries, 5 watts max, with no gas generator or commercial mains, is a 5x multiplier. That's pretty generous. 5 watts max battery, I'll call QRP. A low power station, 100 watts or less, is a 2x power multiplier. After you do the calculation, remember to add the bonus points. In my opinion, CW or digital QRP battery has the scoring advantage. Each CW or digital QRP battery QSO is worth 10 points. In the phone mode, you would get 5 points. If you were a 100-watt station, it would be 4 points for CW or digital contact, or 2 points for a phone contact. The score is not always important to everybody, but consider that QRP battery if you want to be competitive. I've been amazed how well QRP works at field day. We're showing the ARRL sections. Some states are just one section, like Alabama, which is one, and Georgia is the same. But Florida is broken down into 3 sections. California has many sections. The sections are part of the exchange, so you want to be able to recognize the abbreviations. Also, Canada has sections as shown. Ontario North is ONN. It is wise to become familiar with these because Canada is a major player in field day. Bonuses are many. I'll highlight a few. For 100% emergency power, you get a 100-point bonus per transmitter. Public location is 100 points. Public information tables, 100 points. Originating a message to the section manager is 100 points. And handling other messages are 10 points each, up to 100 points. A message has to leave the site via RF, and WinLink is becoming a popular way to do that. There is a bonus of 100 points for satellite QSOs. However, they prefer you to make only one contact to reduce congestion on the satellites. You can do a demo of natural power for 100 points, and copying an ARRL bulletin is 100 points. I suggest reviewing these and the rules and picking the bonuses you'd like to focus on. Some stations skip the bonuses. Field day logging is not required, but you're encouraged to keep a log and submit your score to the ARRL. You could use a paper log and turn in a summary. The most popular way to log is with a computer, tablet, or smartphone running a software app. The logging app can help you avoid duplicates. You can only get credit for a station once on a particular band and mode. I suggest checking out the N3FJP Field Day software log. It is specific to ARRL Field Day, and it will calculate your score. The setup is straightforward. It interfaces to your radio. There are several other alternatives, including N1MM. Well, it's worth mentioning that field day will slip up on us. It's advantageous to be prepared. So make your plans early and gather your gear ahead of time. Test out the logging program. Make sure it interfaces to your radio properly. If you wait, it's going to be pretty frustrating troubleshooting that 1 hour before field day or during field day. You may want to bring some test equipment and maybe a antenna analyzer or a dummy load, just in case you have trouble on field day. I always recommend bringing a barrel connector that will connect 2 pieces of coax. So bottom line, don't miss the fun. find a field day that you can join or visit. Also, consider doing your own field day, operating away from home. Uh, Camping at a state park is an option. Or perhaps you have a friend who has some property and they can accommodate you. But in all, you are also welcome to operate from the comfort of your home. In this part of the country, folks complain about the heat in June. There is an alternative, winter field day, and the weather will be cooler. Winter field day is similar to ARRL field day. It is very popular. It occurs in the last full weekend of January, so check out that opportunity. This is a picture of Rick, my buddy NZ2I. He was my co-operator at last year's field day. Rick says, "Why me worry? It's FT8." Here is a picture of my field day at East Bank Campground on Lake Seminole. We operate from a shelter outside, which you can see in front of the trailer. We have a portable hex beam called the Buddy Hex in the center of the picture. It picks up the bands from 20 meters to 6 meters, and it has some gain. Also, uh, on the left side of the picture, um, there's green space for this campsite, and I'm able to deploy a uh, 80 through 10 end fed that's 130 feet long. So this is kind of the dream setup for field day. But find out what you can get access to and take advantage of it. This is Rick operating at night. I'm on break, and you can see we have uh, computers for logging, and we have our two stations. In the center is a multiplexer with filters that allows us to use the hex beam um, with both stations at the same time. However, we must be on different bands. This is my favorite picture, which is the hex beam at sunset overlooking the lake. So I'm very excited about field day. I hope you find an opportunity to operate, make some contacts, and looking forward to your field day report. 73, this is Greg N4KGL.